This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Dove Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Gun.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Remember, because what you hears today, you got to tell the birthed tomorrow. I'm looking behind us now, across the count of time, down the long hall, into history back. I sees the end, what with a start. Right! And somebody did come.
It's a special day for you to shine. Friends all around with cheers and wishes, candles on a cake that's just delicious. It's all for you today, 'cause it's birthday time. That's right, Vicky, this one's for you. 'Cause it's birthday time, what a day for celebrating. There'll be songs and gifts and some happy congregating. This is birthday time with your friends and your relations. It's a time for joy and happy celebrations. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Well, hi there. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's good. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. My name is Tony, in case anybody's forgotten. It's been a long time. Feels like it's a long time. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Hope everybody's well. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. And we're on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the YouTube channel, the Facebook channel. Please comment and say hello. We love when you guys check in with us and say hi. You're welcome, Vicky. Hello, John. We like when you guys comment and say hi to us. So if you're going to comment, please head over to the YouTube feed. That is where we monitor the comments. We appreciate you watching on Facebook if you're there. But if you'd like to comment, please do so on the YouTube feed. Well, it's good to see everybody. We have not been on. Today is the 15th. We have not been on in almost 2 weeks. The whole studio has been shut down for almost 2 weeks. And what a better day to get going. We put on our happy shirt. The weather is perfect outside. If you're in this neck of the woods, you know what I'm talking about. It is beautiful out there. We're back. Treading Water is coming back today. Steve Squared will be in the studio tonight. Hershey and the Keegs are back tomorrow. So we're back. We're back. We're excited. We're happy. We appreciate your patience. We're glad that you came back to have some laughs with us. We hope to provide you with some laughs and some fun. We got all sorts of stuff brewing over here. So our apologies for being out for almost 2 weeks. You did see the video that I made. At least I know some of you did. There were a lot of apologies from Governor's Comedy Club. Just a little mix-up. They just basically forgot to tell me that the studio was going to be closed. But I do think there were some last-minute things. So the studio was closed. They had some stuff going on in here. There were rumors that the place was flooded, the roof collapsed. No, everything is cool. They just had some business to take care of. And I believe they were supposed to do it this week. There were some last-minute changes. It ended up happening April 4th, I believe it was. 3rd? Something like that. And, and then they forgot to tell me, so I showed up here that Thursday, which I think that was the 4th, I think. And I put the key in the back door, and it doesn't work. I'm like, what? Like, I must have tried it 8 times. I'm like, what is going on here? So I'm like, all right, well, I guess it finally happened. Maybe they, they're shutting this thing down. We're not making any money. This guy sucks. Silly little room with his silly little people. So, so I was like, all right, well, I guess that's it. And I text Joe Coletto. I'm like, my key doesn't work. I don't know if you're trying to tell me something. And, he called me and he apologized. Yeah, it's just issues with communication. And, and as soon as they did what they had to do in here, they called me up and said, okay, come on back. Please come back. We missed you. We will give you gas money. We will bring you women and McDonald's. And I said, okay, fine, I'll come back. It's exactly how it went, just like that. But how you guys been? You know, so we're back. We're ready to rock, ready to have some fun. We got some stuff going on that I'm going to tell you about. I did not schedule a guest today. I just figured it would be, a good day for us to catch up. Happy birthday to Vicky. Vicky turns. I'll stop there. Happy birthday, Vicky. What are you doing today, Vicky, to celebrate? I don't know if that's something we can talk about on the air. Kelpie's watching. Hello, Kelpie. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Kelpie's our little hottie mascot. Kelpie's been producing shows. Go check out Kelpie, and go see her shows. Yeah, so what have you guys been doing? Vicky, how are you celebrating today? What have you guys been doing? Poor John Rusiello, that guy was going through withdrawals without the show. He was contacting me almost on a daily basis. Show today? No, John, sorry, not yet. Show today? No, sorry, John, not yet. I think he cried. He was watching soap operas. Andy Plajanos, LOL, I'm messaging Kelpie right now. All right, well, Kelpie, if he's talking about dick pics, let me know. We'll kick his ass. Fremder, sounds like a good deal. Let's try fries and tits. It doesn't get much better than that, right? French fries, steak, chocolate ice cream. French fries, steak, chocolate ice cream, Met game on TV, and Van Halen on the radio. All right, here it comes. Whoops. My pop socket broke, so I'm having trouble, like holding my phone. Good morning, sir.
You're absolutely right. I was going through withdrawals. All right. For 2 fucking weeks, I'm watching reruns of the Waltons, watching reruns of In the Heat of the Night, and looking at your picture that I have that a mutual friend of ours sent to me, and I'm turning around and I'm cursing you.
Wow.
All right? It's your fault. It's not Comedy Club's fault. It's not this guy's fault. It's your fault.
How is it my fault?
Because you almost made me go on Facebook. And you know how I feel about Facebook.
I do.
And I was going to go on in a fictitious name and the whole 9 yards, but you're back. I welcome you back. I'm so happy you dressed for the occasion. Okay.
It's my happy shirt.
You look great. All right, and you have to do. I love your intro, that video you made. That was kind of cool.
Well, I didn't make that, but Don Sill made it. But yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
Okay, well, I don't know what it means, but anyway.
Well, that's a scene. That's a scene from the movie Mad Max with Mel Gibson, and that was an actual scene where these kids were chanting "Walker, Walker." So Don put my face
nice.
over Mel Gibson. Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, it suits you.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Well, I was going to say, do me a favor, figure that out. Whether tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning when you get up to take your piss, you're going to say that fat fuck Disney. I love you. Have a good show.
Thanks, pal. Wow. John Rusiello, I think one of these days I'm going to meet him in person. I think we're just going to have to fight. Let's see. It's me. Good morning. It's a beach day here on Long Island. Yes, I do agree. It is. It might be as close to as perfect as it gets. It is just a beautiful day out there. And it figures that, my first day back, because I'm in here almost all day today, treading water. So I got to be back. So I'm done here at 12:30. I got to be back at 2:30 for treading water to record it and then play it at 4:30. Then I got Steve Squared. I got to be back here at 6 for that 6:30 showtime. I don't know if there's flip tracks tonight or not. So yeah. So I don't know. I might miss out on this beautiful day. That kind of sucks. Kelpie, I've been looking for blue dip cones. What? I've been looking for blue dip cones. Anybody know where Kelpie can find a blue dip cone? Anybody tell me what a blue dip cone is? I'm assuming that's an ice cream cone, and it's dipped in something blue. I'm not a smart man. I don't know why I have this show. Plageno's tasteful nude of Tony Walker. Oh, I don't think there is such a thing. I heard Tony's got a tree trunk, says Fremder. I don't know who Fremder's been talking to. But Fremder, is your book out? Are you ready to rock here? You want to come in tomorrow and do this? Tuesday Trivia will be back tomorrow. I do not have a guest set up yet, so Fremder, if you got the book out, come on in for Tuesday Trivia tomorrow. Well, you're a dip. Yes, I know, Andy. Andy, all right, so we got a lot going on here this week for this show. So we played a new promo that Don Sill made. I'll be playing another one. Don Sill is an editing wizard. I am not. But Don made that great video, and it inspired me to make some other videos. So that was the good one. And then I'll be premiering some other ones that I made as the week goes on that are not as good. But I'd made them anyway. Fremder, and he thought today is a great day to dress like an emoji. Well, yeah, because it's a great day out there. It's a great way to start the week. Great weather and a nice smiley face to provide a happy atmosphere. And the show's back. John called. We got all sorts of fun stuff happening. So we got a lot of stuff going on this week. So we're back. And like I said, Steve's Treading Water back on at 4:30. Steve Squared today at 6:30. Hopefully Flip Tracks tonight at 8. Hershey and the Keegs are back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Don's show's still been going. He had, Donversation's been going. Felix's show's been running on Sunday nights at 7. Let's Eat Long Island and Beyond. That's Sunday nights at 7. That's been running. We got to work on getting some new shows in here, too. If anybody, wants to, we have some things in the works, but we're always trying to get more shows in here. So anybody wants to start a podcast, anybody knows somebody wants to start a podcast, they can contact us through our Facebook page. And then I'll be in. I'll respond. Good rates. We have cameras. We have phone capabilities, Zoom capabilities. We have graphics. The whole works. And of course, you'd be in this iconic building, Governor's Comedy Club. So our show, Tuesday Trivia tomorrow. We were supposed to have. So tomorrow is my mother's birthday. And my brother, I forget, was the past show just a few weeks ago we were on, and Frank suggested bringing our mother in here for Tuesday Trivia and doing the show on her birthday. I think she's called in once or twice, but she's never been in here. You guys have never seen her, in person. So I thought it was a great idea. Yesterday we got together for her birthday. It was not a pretty sight. She walked in with her six-pack, and so immediately the whole family was like, put that away, get rid of that. She almost smashed a bottle over my head, but she wasn't going to waste the alcohol, so she drank it first and then she threw it, but she didn't hit anybody, thank goodness. My mother thinks she thinks I'm famous. She's like, people are going to think I'm drunk all the time. My mother doesn't drink at all. All this stuff is just a joke. But I don't know who these people are. I mean, you guys watch, but hardly, nobody knows. With the exception of you guys, our loyal family that I like to call them. People don't know this show. People don't know me. People have no idea. Nobody thinks that my mother's a drunk. In fact, look, right now. So we went from 9 viewers to 4. So nobody knows. So people are gonna think I'm a drunk. No, they don't. No, they don't. Vicky, I'm going out tonight for a surprise birthday party. Shh. And then she says, shh. Wow, they did a nice job hiding the surprise. Or is it not a surprise party for you? Yes, I think somebody needs lessons on, or needs to learn the definition of surprise birthday party. Fremder, I just got back from Jamaica. It was crazy to watch the eclipse from there. From here, it happened for only a little bit, but where I was, it happened for 7 days. Now that I'm back, I have to get back into the swing of it and remember to read Fremder's comments to myself before I read them out loud. Did you really go to Jamaica? Probably not. That's my guess. So yeah, all right. So we got a lot going on. So I as of right now, I don't have a guest tomorrow. I don't know if Fremder has the book ready and he wants to come in to promote it. If not, I'll get somebody else. But we have Tuesday trivia tomorrow. Thursday, we're starting this new thing on Thursdays. I don't know what to call it. Music Thursdays, Musical Thursday. That doesn't really have a nice flow. Thursday Rockin' Thursday. I don't know. So what we're doing is Frank, my brother, is going to come in every Thursday and bring in a musical guest with him every Thursday. In fact, he has somebody lined up for this Thursday. Somebody I don't know. So I'll have to do my research. Let's see, where is it? He has Rory Kelly on this Thursday. Rory Kelly will be joining us this Thursday. So that's every Thursday. We're going to have a musical guest with Frank. And so that's starting this week. Frank has musical guests lined up. Thursday Tunes. That's not Thursday. Thursday Tunes. Thursday Thunes. Yeah, that's not bad though. Thursday Tunes. Thursday Tunes with Frank. Freaking Frank. See, if we did on Fridays, we could Frank Fridays. Frank Musical Fridays. So you might be asking yourself now, he's going to do that on Thursdays with Frank. Well, what about Michael Kaplan, who was co-hosting with Tony on Thursday? I'll start that over. You might be asking yourself, what happened to Michael Kaplan, who was co-hosting with Tony every Thursday? Andy Plagianos, I've been inviting all sorts of people. You may be getting some messages sometime soon. Oh, perfect, Andy. That's great. Tune makers with the Walker Brothers. That's terrible. Fremder, all right, wait a minute. You have to read this to myself. Oh, he can't come in tomorrow. Okay. He has shit to do. Oh, he did get back from Jamaica. My wife and I were there for a week, and yes, the book is out. All right, so you want to do next Tuesday? I hope you had a great time in Jamaica. Well, it was a perfect time for us to not do the show since you weren't around. Oh, by the way, yeah, our apologies to Chris Thomas. That Thursday, April 4th, was the birthday of one of my closest friends, Brian Thomas, one of Chris's brothers. Brian, this summer will be the 10th anniversary of Brian's passing. So we were going to do the show on his birthday. We were going to talk a lot about him and share some stories. Brian was one of the funniest people you would ever meet. Very, very unique man. Nonstop. I mean, he was just everywhere, and he didn't like things that we might say, oh, someday I'd like to do that. You never do. Well, he would go and do it. Just a tremendous, and he was like 6'3" or something. I mean, he was a big guy, and he was a guard at the Nassau County Jail. Very involved with his 4 kids. Good husband, good father, just a great, great guy who I miss terribly. And Chris was, we were going to come in and talk about him on his birthday. And, my apologies to Chris that we couldn't do that. Maybe we'll do that at some point anyway. Maybe I'll see if Chris is around tomorrow. And we'll talk a little bit about Brian and do Tuesday trivia. I've told the story before, and I'll tell it again. Because I knew Chris when Brian was around, but hardly. Like to the point where I don't even know if she knew me if we bumped into each other somewhere. I might recognize her. I don't. I'm going to say she probably wouldn't recognize me. If I told her who I am, then she would know. But that's how much we hardly knew each other back then. But it was Brian's passing that actually kind of brought us together. And again, I've told this story before. When Brian passed, he had the 2 days of visitation and then the funeral. I think it was it was the second day of visitation, or was it the funeral? No, it was the second day of visitation. I got there super early, and it wasn't on purpose. I just got there a lot quicker than planned because it was out east a little bit on Long Island. It was a good half-hour drive for me to get to the funeral home, but I anticipated traffic, and I just got there a lot earlier than anticipated. So I got there before the funeral home opened, and the parking lot was empty. There was nothing going on, so I just chilling in the car. Put the tunes on. I just sat and relaxed. I don't know how Chris even knew I was there, but all of a sudden, she comes walking out of the funeral home by herself. She comes walking out, and she comes up to me, and she goes, Tony, she goes, why don't you go in? I go, well, it's not time. She goes, no. She goes, I forget where she was going. She had somewhere to go. She says, why don't you go in there and keep Brian company? I was like, holy crap. That was kind of a weird moment. A weird thought. Like some people close to me have died, but I've never, I don't know, after they've died, I've never sat with a dead body, I guess, and it was very weird. When you go to a wake and you look at, you go to the coffin, they have all the makeup on and stuff, and how many times it doesn't even look like them, or, they didn't do a great job, or the job is so, but this was very different. Brian did not look like he was made up. He didn't look different at all. His face was totally intact. He didn't look like he had makeup on. He even had a little smirk on his face. To the point where you did kind of wonder if this was some kind of joke. And Brian was the type that would pull a joke like that. Very over-the-top guy. But, I went in and sat with him and just talked to him it was at least a half hour. I think it was more like 45 minutes. And, got to say goodbye and just talk to him. And it was very surreal moment. I bring it up to Chris a lot because I always bring it up to her because I can't stop thanking her for that moment. But anyway, so apologies to Chris because like I said, I didn't know this building was closed, so I'm here, so I had to text her like 10 o'clock, and she lives about at least a half hour away, maybe even longer. So I was like, I hope you didn't leave the house yet. Please don't come. I don't think we're doing the show. And then, as I'm trying to find out what's going on, I'm keeping her updated. And I think she said, why don't you come to the house and we'll do it live from my house. And I was just a little, I don't know, like, I was all deflated at that point. I'm like, and then I have to worry about going to the house, making sure I have a signal. Will it work on the phone? I would have to do Facebook only. For some reason I can't go YouTube live. It has the option, but it just never seems to work. So I was like, it's just too much. So like I said, I was deflated too because I didn't know, I didn't know that the building was closed. And then they were telling me, well, we don't know when you're coming back. We don't know how long the building's going to be closed. I was like, ugh. And they said at the time it'll be at least a week. I'm like, son of a bitch. So, so that was a long story to apologize to Chris Thomas. All right, sorry. All right, so Fremda's not coming in tomorrow. Get rid of Kaplan Day is the new Thursday. Right, okay. So we're going to do Thursdays with Frank and musical guests. Now, just before we took our little break, Andy suggested two things to me. One, he suggested possibly changing the name of the show. Which I'll get to that in a second. He also suggested bringing Wednesdays back. I don't know if anybody who currently watches, maybe Fremder, there was a time where we did 5 days a week. And at some point we decided let's take a break on Wednesdays. I was against it at the time. I ended up liking it because it gave me a chance. Because I get up early every morning, and as soon as I'm not even out of bed yet, and I'm on my phone like doing promotion for whatever shows are on, or I'm looking up info for things to talk about on this show today. Doing a daily show is tough, especially when it's not a typical radio station where you play songs and you just talk a little bit in between songs. This is like talk radio. We're just talking for 90 minutes, which isn't easy to do. So constantly looking for stuff to talk about, looking for content. So it was nice to have that Wednesday off in the middle of the week to take care of other things, personal or things for in here or for the murder mystery shows, whatever. But Andy did suggest it. I do, like I said, I was against taking Wednesdays off because I do like the flow. Keeping the routine of every single weekday, tune in to Gov's Comedy Club podcast and watch the show. So Andy was suggesting doing Wednesdays. And I said, all right, Andy, I will contemplate and I will think, which is very hard for me to do. And then I get a call from Michael Kaplan. Tony, may I talk to you? Tony, let me see if I can do a Mike Kaplan. Andy's Mike Kaplan impression is hard to beat. Tony, you got a minute? Yes, Mike, what's up, pal? Hey, how you doing? I just need to talk to you for a minute. I have a question for you. All right, Mike, we don't need intros. What's on your mind? Tell me what you're calling for. Well, this is a terrible Mike Kaplan, but, Thursdays, I have to work. Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. So you can't do Thursdays here anymore? No, I'm sorry, pal. I can't do Thursdays. I have to work. He says, however, I'm off on Wednesdays. I said, you're off on Wednesdays? Well, I know you don't do the show. I said, well, funny you should say that, Michael, because Andy is suggesting I do Wednesdays. I said, I appreciate everything you've done. You came in here every Thursday. You, for the most part, except when you canceled last minute. And he's probably 45 minutes away, just like Andy. All you guys, I appreciate all you guys. You take the trek. Andy's almost an hour away. Mike's probably around 45 minutes. I said, so I appreciate, coming in and everything you did. I said, if you don't want to do it anymore, it's totally fine. I get it's a big deal. And, it's not like anybody's getting paid or anything. No. I love doing the show. I just can't do Thursdays. I said, all right. Well, Andy thinks we should do it Wednesdays again. If I bring it back on Wednesdays, you'll do it with me. Oh, yeah, I'd love to do it. I said, okay, then. I took that as a sign. Andy suggested it, and then all of a sudden Mike is saying that's the only day he can do. So I'm like, all right, it's meant to be. So, starting May 1st, so I'm going the rest of April not doing Wednesdays. Starting Wednesday, May 1st, this show will be on 5 days a week. Mondays, who knows who'll be in here. Tuesdays, who knows. Hopefully Sean, we'll hear from Sean and get Sean back in here on Tuesdays. Mike Kaplan on Wednesdays, Frank Walker on Thursdays, Andy Plajanos on Fridays. And that's what we have going on so far. So hopefully it'll work out. I'm going to be a tired guy. I do my best. Not every show we do is gold. I do like to think that more shows than not are good. More shows are good than not. But we'll see what happens. We're going to go back to doing it Wednesdays, 5 days a week. And I tell you, come September and October when I work at White Post on weekends, it is going to make it even harder to do Wednesdays. I probably will take like Mondays off or something when I'm doing White Post because it does. I get freaking wiped out, and I do have. I think it's the first weekend that I'm at White Post. I have a show at McGuire's. I have the game show here in the Giggle Room. I have a lot of so we work White Post, and that's also my busiest time for murder mysteries that time of year. So that I'm going to be wiped. So I probably will be taking days off at that time. So that's starting May 1st. We have a guest on Thursday with Frank. What was the name? I already forgot it, but I'll look it up at some point. I'll do my research. I'll be prepared. Friday with me and Andy, we have one of our favorites, Linda Marcus Smith, will be joining us this Friday. She's already asked me if I'll hook her up with a guy. No, if you guys remember a few years ago, she was all hot and heavy for comedian Art Schill, who's, I believe, around the same age as her. She already contacted me. Any chance of getting Art to come in? I was like, all right, well, I'll find out. So I don't know if it's happening, but don't lie. You loved Wednesdays off because it was one less day you had to listen to my shit, says Fremder. Well, that was definitely an incentive to continue taking Wednesdays off. Mickey's back. Thank you, pal. Welcome back to you, too. Where is Mike Kaplan working? At the aquarium as a sea turtle? Andy Pagano says, oh, great. Andy, as always, you are a great man, says John. All right. Well, that's the thing is, was Andy saying, oh, great? Or was he saying, oh, great? Art is like 15 years older than Linda. Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, you're right. He is like in his late 80s, isn't he? Well, we'll try to, Andy, just brush up on your CPR, just in case. And we'll hopefully get Art in here for Linda. Either way, we'll have fun with Linda on Friday. She's fun. I don't know if she's bringing Helene with her or not. I don't think she is. We did have some other guests. I had another guest, Anthony. He's a comedian. He's not from around here. I'm forgetting his name. My apologies. We had another, Anthony. We're trying to reschedule him. He was supposed to come in one day last week. We had a few things that we were working on. So we got to reschedule. And even our apologies to the other shows. They had guests lined up and stuff on their shows. But we're back. I think, Andy says, I think she wants me to perform CPR on her. Probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm not even saying that in case she has any trouble. I think she just wants you to touch her chest and put your mouth on her. Yeah. So that's that. So that's what's happening here on our show. Some updates. What'd you guys do? What'd you guys do from 11 to 12:30 every day while we weren't here? I'll tell you what I did. I mean, I made some videos, but for the most part, it was the first time I took off actually maybe the second time that I've taken off. In my 6 years of being here, I've taken only 2 vacations where I did absolutely nothing studio-wise. And this time was one of them. Other than making some videos, I didn't do anything regarding the station. And I got to be honest, it was a little refreshing. I needed the break. So yeah, it kind of worked out. I mean, I did other stuff. There's been a lot of stuff with the murder mysteries that I'm working on. We had some shows. Yeah, in fact, I think the last show we did was when Sarah Martin was in here. Sarah Martin, a great filmmaker. She does a lot of she still makes short films, but she does a lot of commercial work now, making commercials and stuff. And she's also working on a documentary called is it Fight Club? Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry, I forgot what it's called. But it's Fight. Well, obviously not Fight Club. Fight Class. Fight something. Look up Sarah Martin. Silent Envy Productions. And in fact, she just posted something yesterday or today about this documentary Fight. Something with the word fight in it. She did the show with me the last time. And one of the reasons she came in, because after the show, we had some shows coming up that weekend. Not this past weekend, the weekend before that. And we had an actress that backed out last minute, and Sarah stepped up on a week's notice to learn the script and come in and do the show with us. She had never seen us before. She really didn't know much about Knockem Dead Comedy and our murder mysteries, what we do. And she came in and nailed it and was a lot of fun. We had a good time with her. She loved it. She said, you know, like I think it was like 2 days later, she left for Vegas. She's in Vegas for 3 weeks working on a project. She comes back home for a week. Then she's off to Thailand for 3 weeks working on another project. She's busy. She's not home on Long Island much, but just happened to be home. And, so she came in and made it work. So she was like, oh, yeah, if I'm ever in town and you need me, she was, I'd love to do it again. So thank you, Sarah Martin. She did a fantastic job. We had some great shows. It was two shows that she stepped in for. And one show that we did in Seaford, which is South Shore, Long Island, maybe 10 minutes from here. The audience, it was just the perfect audience. They laughed at everything. We just had a great time with them. The second show we did was out in Riverhead, out east, Long Island, where we got them. We won them over, but it took a little time in the beginning. They were, I come out and start the show, and they were, I don't want to say rude, but they were having their own conversations. And in fact, I even stopped at one point and said, do you guys want, because they started bringing dinner out too while I was trying to get going. And I even stopped. And I said, you guys want me to come back after dinner or something? You guys don't seem like you're ready for this. But yeah, as each cast member came out and as the show got going, they got into it, and it turned out to be a great night. But it was definitely some work getting them going. And I did get, let me see if I can find it. I did get someone did post a negative review about us. I've already gotten 2 shows out of that weekend. I've had somebody contact me about possibly bringing the cast down to Florida for a show, which would be amazing. We've never done that before. I'm hoping to make that happen. We're working on it. But, you know, when people ask you for business cards after the show, when people are calling after the show looking to book you for their function, you know you did a good job. So when someone posts a negative review, well, okay. I mean, we're not everybody's cup of tea. I don't understand why you have to post about it, but so this person gave us 2 stars and said this company needs to interact more with the public. If you've seen us, you know how much we interact with the public. When at a gig, play more music. Like, it's not a concert. I don't know. And give out T-shirts that will actually fit the people they give them to. Let me explain that one. So we give out T-shirts, Knockem Dead Comedy T-shirts. I've worn them on here. You've seen them. The logo is, it's a shirt with this logo right here. Sometimes I have a minute to check the shirts and give out what I think is a good size. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just grab any old shirt, I give it to the person, and I say on the microphone as I'm giving it to them, I go, I always do it the same way. I go, and I hold the shirt up first so everybody can see it. I go, we have for you this beautiful Knockem Dead Comedy T-shirt that you're going to wear everywhere you go. And I give them the shirt. And then I say, if the size is not the correct size, come see us after the show and we'll switch it out. Sometimes, depending on who's doing our work on our soundboard, who's our stage manager that night, sometimes I may say, if it's not the right size, go see our stage manager, tell him what size you want. Go tell him or she what size you want. And they'll give you a new shirt. So I don't know why that had to be brought up. I was a bit disappointed when I attended one of their murder mystery shows recently. I don't think I'd attend again. Okay. So I wrote back, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy our murder mystery. We do interact with the public throughout the show, but sometimes we do have to pull back a little so it's not too noisy. If things become too much, then it's hard to follow along. But we do work the room at all of our shows and interact. When the shirts were given out, they were told if it's the wrong size, let us know and we'll change them out. We had so many people tell us how much they loved it after the show. We hope you'll come back again and have some laughs with us. So there you go. Sons of bitches. Good morning, Carol. Carol's there. So now I feel like we're all reunited. Andrew probably would give the best CPR, not because he's experienced, but because underneath his nose looks like one of my old vacuum attachments. A little tickler. Carol, how you doing down there? What's happening? You missed so much. Oh, all right. So that was another thing I wanted to bring up. So, Andy suggested we do Wednesdays. Mike Kaplan would like to do Wednesdays. So as of May 1st, we're going to be back on Wednesdays as well. So come May, last few days of April, first few days of May will be the first week that Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast Knockem Dead Comedy Show will be back 5 days a week. So there you go. That's that. Now, the other thing Andy suggested was that we change the name to the show, the name of the show. A rebranding was the word Andy used. You give out free T-shirts. How interesting, John. I haven't ordered a new shipment of shirts yet. Since you've asked for your shirt, I don't have the size that you asked for. When I place my order, this week or next week at the latest, when I place the order, I'm going to order a shirt in your size so I have it. And then once I get it, I will send it out to you. So calm down. So I sat down with Don Sill. And I said, Don, Andy says we should rebrand and I should rename the show. Don said, who the fuck cares about Andy? No, I'm kidding. He said, oh, that's interesting. So we did look into it. Don said, all right, well, if you're going to change it, you got to stand out more. You got to push yourself more. Get out from behind Knockem Dead Comedy. Get out from behind Gov's Comedy Club podcast. Here's the Tony Walker Show. There you go, the Tony Walker Show. And I said, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan. I don't like standing out. I love doing the murder mysteries because it's a cast. I love doing theater because it's a cast. And it's a group. It's a cast iron crew, I should say. I don't like, hey, here I am. How many times have I said it in here? Like, doing the show by myself, it's not always the most comfortable of situations for me. So I like having a name, behind the show, Knockem Dead Comedy. But I understood where Don was coming from. I understand where Andy's coming from. So I said, all right, the Tony Walker Show, the Tony Walker Podcast, Talking to Tony, Weekdays with Tony. We try to, Don and I were going back and forth with a few different ideas. So, forgive me, I didn't prepare this in advance, but I'm screwing up. So I Googled, I Googled Tony Walker Podcast. And it turns out there already is one. And, I wanted to prepare. My apologies, I forgot. I wanted to prepare this in advance. Because I was going to play some of it for you. I figured let's see what the Tony Walker Podcast is all about. Classic Ghost Stories Podcast, Tony Walker. I don't remember even seeing that before. Tony Walker Obituary. Whoa. Tony Walker Stories, Classic Ghost Stories. Yeah, why am I getting all these classic ghost stories? I don't remember. I could have sworn it was just the Tony Walker Podcast. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, well, let's see. Let's see. Because I found... This is it. I found what I thought was it on. Now this, yeah, see, this isn't. Well, here you go. So, original stories, Tony Walker Special Edition. That is not me. And I could have, what I listened to was not ghost stories. But now that's all I'm finding. Oh, that's weird. Hang on, let me try something. Oh, wait a minute. I think I found what I was. Yeah, okay. So, all right, so apparently there's more than one. Classic Ghost Stories with Tony Walker. All right, this is the one I was looking for. This is called the Tony Walker Podcast. See that? And he's up to 2 seasons. He posts an episode like once a month. Yeah, basically like once a month. Once every other month, give or take. In fact, episode 93 was the last episode, and that was from back in January. All right, but let's see. Let's see what this is all about. Can you hear it?
Coming back at you live.
Sorry, my intro song is so much better.
What's up, gang? What's happening? I got a vasectomy. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, you can't see. I got a vasectomy. Wow, winning. And it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty good. Looks okay. Even though the doctor didn't do exactly what I wanted, because my idea was just to take the balls off. I don't need balls. I think they're unsightly. And frankly, I wanted to swim better. I think I'd be less water resistance when I'm swimming. And it'd just be more aerodynamic. I was looking for a sleeker look, but just look like a rocket. But it turns out they don't cut your balls off. They just kind of cut little windows in your balls, and then they go in there and they fiddle around with whatever they can find. I don't know what they do, but it's goddamn painful. Don't do it.
The mouth.
I mean, you got to really want to do it, because this is my first time in stirrups. You ever have your legs up in stirrups and your balls in the doctor's face? That's a new feeling.
Hey, everybody. It's me.
And then they got to wash them down. They got to wash them with this antiseptic towel. But he was washing very aggressively. I mean, he was washing my testicles like he was trying to get a stain out of the window, and it just wouldn't come out. Just really going at it. Gotcha, bitch. I mean, he wanted...
There you go. That's a little sample of the Tony Walker podcast. That is not this Tony Walker. Should I make that a new segment where, like, maybe once a week we check out a little bit of the Tony Walker podcast? Wow, that was interesting. So it's not enough that we have comedian Christopher Titus doing Knockem Dead, a comedy podcast. But now we discover that there's a Tony Walker podcast. You know what? Let's see. How long has this guy been doing it? Chris Titus just started his podcast this past summer. So screw you, Christopher Titus. I was here first with my Knockem Dead comedy. And now, and we started this show March 12th, 2018. Okay? So let's see when this Tony Walker, let's see when he started his podcast. February, so episode 1. Trump, Burger King, Domino's, and Asians Hate Me. February 29th, 2020. So almost just 2 weeks, actually, just about 2 weeks shy of 2 years to the day later that this guy started. I am the original. I am the OG, ladies and gentlemen. So, So there you go. So obviously I couldn't go with the Tony Walker podcast. So I said to Don, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to keep it at Knockem Dead. Knockem Dead is... I've worked very hard to keep that brand, or to push that brand through the years. So we're gonna stick with that one. Let's see what this is. Hello? 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 Some things never change around here. All right, there you go. Yeah, I've worked very hard to keep the Knockem Dead comedy name and to get it out there. So I'm going to stick with it. So I went with 1 out of 2 of Andy's suggestions. So we're going to go with Wednesdays. So there you go. And it's better than the Tony Walker podcast, and it's better than Chris Titus. Let's see. So all right. So Fremder went to Jamaica. What did you guys do? Like I told you, I did nothing. I really did next to nothing. I missed but it kind of sucks because it was a good time to be doing the shows because I missed a lot of good stuff to talk about on this show. We had the eclipse. We had the earthquake. OJ died. I mean, there was a lot of stuff to talk about that I missed. I don't know, maybe it's a good thing that I wasn't on the air for OJ. Lisa, you know, I come in here and I mean, I'm always stupid, but I definitely act stupid in here. And, you know, this place is full of comedians where there's very little that's off the table. You know, like there's hardly any line to cross when you're a comedian. So you just got to go on social media, right, and see all the jokes that are made pretty much with any topic. Definitely a lot of topics, a lot of things said definitely a lot of things said about OJ. So I'm used to it. I get it, and I do laugh. But then you have Lisa, who's not in the comedy world, and she's, you know, the nice one. And she says, well, I just think about his kids, and they're the ones who have to read the social media stuff. OJ's gone. What does he care? But the kids have to see it. And I'm like, oh, now I feel bad. So I'm like, so maybe it's a good thing that we were off. I don't know. But I'll tell you my earthquake story. And I'm glad everybody's okay, by the way. I was home. Zach was working. Lisa's working. Sammy was at her day heb. I was home. I would have been here when it hit, but which would have been awesome because it hit around 10:30 in the morning, right? So that would have been, right? Yeah, it was around 10:30 in the morning. How awesome would that have been? Fresh off the earthquake, boom, we're on the air here and we could have been talking. That would have been awesome. But the earthquake happened. I was in my house, and as soon as I felt it, I was like at first you're like, what the? And then it hits you like it's an earthquake. My dog starts barking, and then when it ends, like, what about you? What'd you guys do when it ended? Like, it was weird. Like, do I just I'm just gonna go back to let me turn the TV on and see what's going on, and watch, The Sopranos. Like what do you do with yourself after? Like I'm in the house alone. Like do you call somebody? Do you just say, okay, it was an earthquake. Let me get back to what I was doing. Like, so my son texted me, did you feel it? I was like, yeah, I did. But then I looked out my window because, again, I didn't know what to do. And sure enough, I see some people coming out. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll go outside and talk to my neighbors. But you see, we're all kind of standing out there like, and we're all just kind of looking around, looking at nothing really. I mean, but then my next door neighbor comes out and she's freaking out. I go, I guess you felt that. She says, of course I felt it. It's a tsunami. What? It's a tsunami. I go, it's a tsunami? She was, that's it. She goes, it's a tsunami. So I'm like, at first I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But then I don't know this neighbor well. I mean, maybe she knows this stuff. I don't know. So I'm like, are you sure it was a tsunami? Sure enough, then there was some wind after the earthquake. And sure enough, she goes, listen. And I go, that's wind. She goes, no. She goes, that's the water, working its way up. And I'm like, and I did. I admit it. There was a split second where I'm like, okay. Like, there's nothing you could do if it's a tsunami. I mean, there's nothing. What are you going to do? Especially me. I can't run. I can't, you're not going to be able to go fast enough to get each family member. And even if you do get them, then what? Like, so I even said to her, she's looking at me, she's like panicking. So I just went like this, like, oh, okay. I basically just kind of stood there frozen. I'm like, just waiting to die. And I was like, okay. And then her mother called her. So she grabs her phone. She goes, I'm going in. I'm like, okay. Nice knowing you. Maybe I'll see you in heaven. I didn't know. So I walk into the house, and then I start seeing everywhere on the news and stuff, earthquake. I'm like, all right, I don't think it. I think if it was a strong enough tsunami to wipe the island off, I was thinking at this point it would have happened already. So I did. I just started watching TV. I went on the internet, just checking out what was being said about the earthquake. Sure enough, she knocks on my door about, I don't know, a few hours later. I'm sorry, I freaked you out. It wasn't a tsunami. And I go, well, obviously it wasn't a tsunami. She goes, yeah, it was an earthquake. I say, yeah, I know. All right, well, I just wanted to apologize for freaking you out. I'm like, well, I'm sorry you were freaked out. And then I punched her. So that was my earthquake story. But I hope everybody was okay. There was no reports of any damage anywhere. That earthquake was pretty widespread, or at least felt widespread. There's been quite a bit with aftershocks, but still doesn't seem like there was any major damage, which is, of course, a very good thing. We got some comments. Let's see. Oh, wow, I missed a bunch of... John Rusciello, only breaking your balls. I know. Vicky, how about Tony Walker and Friends? Tony Walker and Friends is the clothing company. So I figured I better stay out of trouble and not do that. I don't know if they have any physical stores anymore. They used to. But I'm pretty sure they're still online. Yeah, but they've been around a long time. I remember in the 90s, 95, I think it was. I was in Detroit visiting a friend, and we went to the mall, and there was a Tony Walker and Friends store. And so I went in and I bought some stuff, and at the cash register, I showed them my driver's license. I'm like, do I get a discount? And she looked at the license. She looked at me. No. Yeah, okay. But that's why I avoided that name. Talk with Tony show. Maybe. Carol says, ugh, and she threw up. Why? Oh, from that podcast? Morning, Vicky. Oh, Carol says Tony is the OG. That's right, Carol, I am. That guy sounded like he didn't have balls anyway. I think Helen Keller just called, says Fremder. What does that mean? Terrible, says Plajanos. Those poor kids seeing all those jokes. And after their mom was murdered by some rando. Yeah, right. Can we just talk about how my dad is best friends and neighbors with Ron Goldman? I almost couldn't keep my mouth shut the other day. Oh, is that true? Your father is friends with Ron Goldman? Ron is the father, right? Wasn't the kid's name Ron? Forgive me, I should know that, but either way, your dad is friends with the Goldman family? Oh, that's wild. You were alone and you didn't masturbate? Oh, for the earthquake? No, I don't think I did that day. From there, Jamaica was amazing. Oh, wait, let me read this in advance. Yeah. No joke. I'm in Arizona for a wedding, and I order a screwdriver heavy on the OJ. I say to the bartender, as my dad elbows me and tells me to shut up and look to the right, and there he was with Ron Coleman. Oh, my goodness. Is that true? Holy shit. Can't even order a drink. You know, I did feel bad for that guy, the father. I mean, that guy was distraught, man. And then he, and then he won the civil suit. He had to wait years and years to get that money. Not that the point was the money, but OJ was just so smug about. I mean, forget the big trial where the big famous trial. He lost the civil suit, and he had to pay the Goldmans millions. And he made them. I think it was 2018 when they finally got their money, and they only got the money because the courts stepped in. Wow, crazy. All right, so Carol, are you still on? Are you still here? Carol, one thing I wanted to talk about because I saw Carol posted about it. So for those of you Billy Joel nuts, speaking of balls, no, I'm kidding. Where did I put it? A bunch of people are freaking out. Oh, it's right here. A bunch of people are freaking out over this Billy Joel special yesterday. So Billy Joel last month performed his 100th show at 100th consecutive show at Madison Square Garden. Because he's been playing there once a month, and they filmed it. CBS filmed it last month, and last night was the premiere of this Billy Joel live in concert special. And people are freaking out because there was, what was it, golf I think was on? I don't know, something was on earlier in the day, a sports event, which ran late. So the TV show that was coming on before the Billy Joel special, so everything was basically running a half hour late. So the Billy Joel special was supposed to start at 9. It started at 9:30. And then they're on the last song. He's playing Piano Man. There's like 2 minutes left of the song, a minute or two left of the song, and they cut it. And they went right to the news at 11:30. I could not believe the amount of posts I saw on social media this morning. And then even the news websites that I go on every morning as I prepare for this show and look for things to talk about, it was even on there. One headline, I swear to you, one headline said, Billy Joel special, CBS interrupts Billy Joel special, and boy, are fans pissed. That was the headline. Enraged Billy Joel fans put network big shots on blast Sunday night after a televised concert was cut off in the middle of his best-known song. Viewers who had been waiting for the longest time for the CBS broadcast of the 100th concert of his residency at New York's Madison Square Garden had to wait just a little longer when it was delayed by the network's extended coverage of Golf Masters Tournament. Then, towards the end of the show, as Joel performed a rousing version of Piano Man, not just performed Piano Man, but a rousing version, the MSG audience and fans at home singing along, viewers in many cities saw their screens go to black. Just like The Sopranos. Is Billy Joel dead? Did he live? Followed by local news. Some compared it to the infamous 1968 Heidi game, in which NBC cut away from a football game between the New York Jets and Oakland Raiders to show the children's movie. And the social media posts have been going crazy. Now, I'm sorry. You guys know I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. I'm a fan of his music. I shouldn't say a fan of Billy Joel. I don't know the man. I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his music. I talk about him, him regularly on this show. The admin of the biggest Billy Joel fan page on Facebook lets me post the link to see this show live every day, which I appreciate. So again, you guys know that I'm a big fan of the man's music. However, this was not like the New York Jets game, because the New York Jets game was, I think it was tied, and there was like an important play happening, and they cut it off. This was just Billy Joel playing Piano Man. Have you never heard the song before? I'm with you. You're watching the special. Yeah, you'd like to see the whole thing. I totally get that. I want to hear the whole song. Me personally, I like credits. I like reading credits. I'm one of those geeks. Reading the credits, seeing the full episode. I get it. But am I that mad that I'm going to go on social media the next day and to the point where this is like a topic? I don't know. I don't see. They cut it after he says, and the microphone smells like a beer. The rest of the song, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 diddy da, la la diddy da, diddy da. Sing us a song, you're the pounding man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for melody. You've got us feeling all right. That's the rest of the song. That's what you missed. And then, I'm sure he, went to the front of the stage. Thank you, New York. See you next time. See you whenever. Credits. Maybe they showed a quick shot of each band member, on guitar, backing vocals, Mike Del Judas. On saxophone, Mark Rivera. Percussion and saxophone, Crystal Taliaferro. I don't know. Maybe they did. Okay. I don't know. To me, it wasn't. To me, it wasn't that big of a deal. Again, would have liked to have seen the whole thing. I get it, but and I believe Carol posted about it. So Carol, if you're still there, tell us what's going on. Well, at least OJ can finally rest in peace knowing that his wife's killer is dead. Yeah, right, exactly. That's good. But so that was that. That's the Billy Joel thing. Oh, it's tax day. Don't forget, it's tax day. Damn it, I didn't even think of it. I should have, like a year or two ago, Tom Sanfilippo on this show, he played Taxman for us. Damn it, I should have had that ready to play today. I didn't even think of it. I suck. I see. I'm a week and a half being out of here, man. I'm not at top. I'm not at top of my game here. But yeah, it's tax day. Get those taxes filed. So Lisa and I, we're late. We're not late with taxes. We're last minute with our taxes every year. We usually don't get everything we need. 1099s, W-2s, all that stuff. Like, I think, what is it, Mom, if Mom was watching? What is it legally? Like, if you're an employer sending out those forms to people, it has to be out by the end of February, I believe. Well, every year we deal with maybe 2 companies that didn't get it to us by the end of January. So we usually have everything by the end of February. Then by the time we get in touch with our accountant, he's all booked up. And we usually, we're usually like end of March, beginning of April people. So we got our taxes done 2 weeks ago. And we didn't realize till we got home we found some mistakes. Was it 2 weeks ago? It wasn't this past Thursday. It was the Thursday before. So almost 2 weeks ago. So we noticed the mistakes late on that Friday afternoon. So we figured, all right, well, I'll call him Monday. Called Monday, called Tuesday, called Wednesday, got no response. He was just too busy. So this past Thursday, since I didn't have a show to do, I drove to his office and I just walked in, which they were not happy about. But I explained to them what was going on. I said, if I'm going to file, I need this stuff fixed. So they fixed it. Luckily, we were doing e-file. Luckily, they didn't e-file for us yet. So they took care of it. They e-filed, but we had to get the checks out. So Lisa wrote the checks out, and on Friday, she said to me, it was Friday night. She goes, all right, so on Monday, I need you to go to the post office and mail these checks out. I go, well, we e-filed. I said, so why do I need to go to the post office? They aren't going to be heavy to send the payment. Just put the envelope in the payment and send it out. No, I want to make sure it's postmarked Monday. I said, all right, well, throw it in the mailbox this weekend. They'll pick it up first thing Monday morning, and it'll be postmarked. No, I worried about that. I don't want. No, I don't want you to do that. It's too late. I said, what do you mean it's too late? I said, you throw it in the mailbox, they'll pick it up Monday morning and postmark it. Sometimes people steal the mail. Sometimes they'll tip over a mailbox and break into it and steal stuff because they're hoping to get stuff that's worth something or cash. I'm going to say that's like urban legend. When was the last time you guys read an article where somebody broke into a mailbox? Like a real, like not somebody's mailbox on their house. U.S. Post Office. The blue grimace-looking mailboxes. So she insisted. No, you got to go to the post office. I go, I'm finally back to doing the show. I got things to do. I'm going to be in here all day. Things we do for sex. I got up even earlier this morning to make sure I had everything I needed to do done. Got Sammy off to Dayhab. Went to the post office. And I said to her, I go, it's going to be mobbed. I said, I can't believe you're making me do this. It's not going to be mobbed. It's mobbed later in the day when people get this taxes done. I said, no, it's going to be all day. Sure enough, I get there this morning. I'm there. I get there at 9:15. The line was out the door. I am not making this up. The Levittown post office, which is just maybe like a half a mile away from here. Thankfully, just half a mile away from me. I didn't have to go out of the way. It's right down the block. Lucky for Lisa. Because I would have done something. I would have. Yeah. But yeah, and then thankfully, so I was there for about 15 minutes waiting online when finally some employee comes up to one of the empty teller windows. She goes, anybody just have drop off? I'm like, oh. I go, I'm scurrying through the line. I'm trying to get over. These two other guys beat me to it. And one guy hands her something. She's like, okay, that's good. Another guy has a giant box. She's like, that's drop off? He's like, I'm dropping it off. She goes, no, we have to wait. You have to pay for it. She says, no, just drop off. Stuff that I can just take without any interaction. So I hold up my 2 envelopes with payments and a stamp. I go, I'm dropping this off. I just need to know it's going to get postmarked today. She goes, oh, yeah, absolutely. I said, and she goes, that's drop off. Yes. And I got out of there. Yes. All right. Vicky, it's not tax day until tomorrow. No, it's the 15th. Are you kidding me? Now I got to check this. No, it's definitely today. You know why? Because my mother always works, obviously, through tax season, because she works in an accounting office. And then she always takes off the next day because she's so wiped out. And she just needs to relax and drink. So, and she's off tomorrow. Well, I mean, she also took off because tomorrow's her birthday as well. But she's off. In the United States, tax day is the day on which individual income tax are due to be submitted to the federal government. Since 1955, tax day has been typically fallen on or just after April 15th. All right, what about this year? Oh, there we go. Monday, April 15th, 2024. Vicky, I hope you did your taxes. I hope you weren't waiting until tomorrow. I'm glad I wasn't wrong, because then I would have been even more pissed I had to go there this morning. One time I got my hand stuck in the mailbox. I could have sworn she was a chick. Fremda's back. Fremda's back. Okay. So that's that. Speaking of Billy Joel, as I've been telling you guys, probably sick of hearing it. Our friend, our pal, Elio Pace, has been touring the UK and Ireland with his Billy Joel Songbook Tour. Well, we made a big deal out of one of his dates. In fact, he was on this show talking about one of his dates in particular. And that date just passed, April 12th. April 12th, Elio played in London at the London Palladium. The London Palladium. That, if you don't know, the London Palladium is like it's the equivalent of playing Carnegie Hall here, or maybe even Radio City Music Hall. So this was a pretty big deal, and we were very excited for our friend. Very happy for him. Congratulations to you, Elio. There he is in front of the London Palladium, looking all excited. Looks like a beautiful place. Sorry I couldn't be there. I was trying to make it happen, but obviously we didn't get there. And I could have, because I didn't have a show to do. But congrats to Elio. I saw some video online and stuff. It looked like a great show. Elio doesn't disappoint. Elio always puts on a fantastic show. Tremendous musician. His band is tight. He puts on a fun show. There's Amy standing in front of the place with Elio in the background. Amy looks like Amy, is it me, or does it look like Amy was crying in this picture? I think she's so proud of her man that she's got tears of joy going on there. Congratulations to them both. There's another one coming up. Today, what's today's date? Today is the 15th. We just talked about it. I should know the date. Duh. April 20th, I believe. No. April 23rd. Oh, yeah, April 23rd. He's playing the Wales Millennium, the Wales Millennium Center. That's a pretty big deal too. That's a beautiful theater. So Elio will be playing. That's his next big date. But the dates go through May 9th to be exact, is his last show for this tour. Very excited for Elio. Congratulations. Tour is going well. The show at the London Palladium went well. And don't forget, if anybody's going to be in England in November, Elio is going to be doing some concerts where he'll be playing his own music. He'll be doing covers, I'm sure, but it's not a Billy Joel show. Elio's been doing nothing but Billy Joel related shows for 10 years. So in November, he's doing 3 nights. It was originally going to be 2, but the response has been very good. So a third night of the tour has been added. And maybe there'll be more. I don't know. But yeah, Elio will be doing original music. Go to eliopace.com. You can get his. You can download his original music or buy his CDs. Get some of his DVDs. Yeah, it's good stuff. So congratulations to our pal Elio Pace. All right, what do we got? Oh, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. Anybody watch Dwight Gooden yesterday in the Mets? The Mets. I'm getting a little excited. The Mets have been playing some good ball. For those of you, we were still on the air when Don and I went to the Mets home opener, and boy, did they suck. And they lost their first 5. No, actually, was it 7? I think they lost their first 7 games. They were just looking awful. Well, now their record is they've won 7 games and lost 8, so they're almost at 500. 500 is, it's not gonna you're not gonna win any titles with 500, but 500 is at least respectable. It's not a losing record. So, and even the games that they've been losing lately, they've been fighting back. Like they were losing 11-3, I think, one game last week. They ended up coming back and losing 11-8 8 or something like that. They don't give up, and and obviously they've been winning a lot. They're showing some heart. So I still don't have high hopes. I don't think the Mets are going to go anywhere this year, but you feel better about that when they're at least playing good ball. So hopefully we'll have a good season, an exciting season. I mean, some people, if you remember, there was Frank the Tank on Hershey and the Keegs a few weeks ago, and he said that he predicted the Mets were going to lose 100 games this year, and the baseball season is only 162 games. So to lose 100 games and only win 62, that's a long, dreary season. The president usually adds a day or two on April 15th. Does he? I thought that was only like when April 15th was on a Sunday, or if Easter was on April 15th or something. I mean, yeah, so he has, president has extended it, but I don't know if I'd say usually. Vicky, you're right. Tax day is today. Right, Vicky was saying it's tomorrow. The only time is the 17th is when the 15th falls on a Sunday. What about the 16th? You guys are confusing me. Sorry, yeah, so that was the Met game. That was fun. I've been watching some TV. My son introduced me to this cartoon called Invincible. It's a superhero thing. It's kind of like a comedy, but also it's not made for kids. There's a lot of violence and a lot of cursing. No sex yet. I don't know if there will be. Zach's been watching. There's 3 seasons. He's up to date. I just started season 2. It's okay. I don't mind it. They definitely there's some dramatic moments, but I think a lot of it is like spoofing your typical superhero show. So that could be funny at times. Yeah, it's not bad though. It's called Invincible. J.K. Simmons is on it. What's her name? She was on. Her last name is Sandra Oh. Is that her name? She's on it. Who's the African American actor who just passed away recently? He was on The Wire. Reddick, is that his name? He's on it. Lot of famous people either making cameos or just on it. Seahorn. I forget her first name from Better Call Saul. Her voice just came on. Yeah, a lot of familiar faces, but it's a cartoon. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. And there's this other TV show with Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox, if you know him, he's the lead actor in the Marvel series Daredevil. He's been on this other show called Kin, K-I-N, Kin. It's about an Irish family that's a family. They're an actual blood-related family, but they're part of an Irish mob family. They're drug dealers. And I watched, I think the first season was 2020, 2021, something like that. And I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. So I just happened to come across it the other day on the internet. Apparently there was a second season last year. I didn't even know. Never even heard of it. But I didn't show Zach the first season. So he's showing me Invincible. I'm showing him the TV show Kin. Yeah, that one's pretty heavy too. A lot of violence and stuff. Like a good TV show should. I don't know. So yeah, I've been watching those shows. You guys, anybody familiar with either one of those shows? And of course watching Bad Batch. That's a Star Wars thing. That's the current Star Wars series that's running. That's been pretty good. I like that one. All right, so we got. Oh, should we go? All right, maybe we'll go. I had other things, but that's all right because we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, all right, yeah, we'll do that. We're gonna call it a day, and we'll come back on tomorrow. with Tuesday trivia and hopefully a guest. Let me just finish up the comments. The president is always adding a day or two. That's why nothing ever gets done. Exactly, says Andrew Fremder. Exactly. Fremder, let me know if you want to come in next Tuesday. All right. We're going to call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow for Tuesday Trivia. Hopefully have somebody in here with us tomorrow. Vicky. Maybe, Vicky, you got Zoom? You got Zoom capabilities at your house over there in Rochester or Syracuse, wherever the hell you are? Maybe I'll Zoom in with you at noon. And you can play Tuesday Trivia. Maybe. Let me see if I can get somebody in here first. All right. So it's Monday, 4:30, Treading Water. As of last night, they told me they were coming in. But you never know. 4:30, Treading Water, here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the YouTube channel. That's YouTube channel only. Then I'll post a link on Facebook. Steve Squared tonight at 6:30. Possibly a Flip Tracks radio show at 8. If that show is going to be on, I will post something about it. And that's it. We'll be back here tomorrow for Tuesday Trivia and Hershey and the Keys tomorrow night at 9. All right. Nice to see you guys. Glad to be back. Thanks for coming back. I was slightly concerned that, after almost 2 weeks of being gone, that you'd be out of the habit and it would be hard to get people back. So nice to see you all. Okay. Have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful weather. And we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Where's my video? There it is. Okay. Bye.
For your event today. What will you experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
I had an awesome time.
All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events,